Good afternoon. My name is Presley Lovins, and today I'll be presenting college students' perceptions of feminism's importance today. Throughout the last century, women's place in society has advanced tremendously in the U.S. 100 years ago, women could not vote in most states, while 4 years ago, America had the first female presidential candidate nominated by a major party. However, with this vast improvement in women's societal status, has come what is commonly known as the feminist paradox, in which individuals who espouse feminist ideals deny the feminist label. One underlying and crucial reason for this paradox is that individuals do not see the feminist movement as being relevant to today's society. To understand the extent to which the current generation is influenced by the feminist paradox, the current research will examine college students' perceptions of feminism's importance today. Our research question asks, how do undergraduate students view feminism's current relevance in relation to 1, society, and 2, to themselves in their everyday life? Our literature review studies 3 crucial studies. The first one was done in 2008 and found that the majority of college student participants self-identified as non-feminist, 70% to be exact, to avoid being labeled as feminist, a term which many associated with political activities. Next, in another 2008 study, the Gen Y population, or those born between 1977 and 1994, were reluctant to identify themselves as feminist, but would explicitly support women's rights. In a 2004 study, which analyzed 1992 and 1996 survey results, baby bust women, those born between 1960 and 1978, were less likely to call themselves feminist than one would expect given their attitudes and background characteristics. They also became young adults during a time when gender equality was more prevalent and consequently did not see a need for a collective movement, which the generation perceived to have been of relevance mainly in the past. As shown previously, past studies on college students and college-aged women have shown discrepancies between their support for women's rights and their willingness to identify as feminist. Possible explanations for this phenomenon include the perceived irrelevancy of collective feminist movement and the perceived status of gender equality for those coming of age in a more progressive time. These explanations have not been tested apart from the identification of feminist or non-feminist. Forcing participants to choose one of those labels may influence how they answer questions pertaining to feminist ideals. Also, these explanations have not been tested on the current generation of college students. Therefore, the goals of this study are to update existing research on college students' perceptions of the relevance of feminism in today's society, apart from the labeling feminist or non-feminist. Surveys were administered to 21 undergraduate students from diverse majors and class ranks via convenient sampling at a medium-sized Southeastern university. Participants were asked to fill out a questionnaire either in a web-based or written format. 3 statements were used to examine the undergraduates' perceptions of feminism's importance and relevance today, each using a 7-point Likert scale to demonstrate respondents' attitudes towards the given statement from 1, strongly disagree, to 7, strongly agree. Here are the 3 survey statements. 1, I believe feminism is important in today's society. 2, I believe gender equality has been achieved. And 3, I believe feminism is relevant to my everyday life. Participants were then asked to self-report their demographic data, including their age, sex, race, class rank, and major. Of the 21 participants, 11 were female and 10 were male. 12 were African American and 9 were Caucasian. 18 different majors were represented, including business, nursing, dance, economics, etc. And most participants were juniors or seniors. The mean age was 20.48 with a standard deviation of 0.38. This study found that most participants, exactly 71%, agree that feminism is important in today's society, with a mean ranking on the Likert scale is 5.43. Next, most participants, 67%, agreed that feminism is relevant to their everyday lives, with a mean of 4.86. Also, the only participants to agree or strongly agree with the statement, I believe gender equality has been achieved, were males, exactly 50% of the males, to be exact. What is most significant from our findings is that there is evidence that the current generation of college students do view feminism as important to today's society and is relevant to their personal lives. Why this shift from previous studies? This shift could be attributed to the fact that the participants had no pressure to label themselves as feminist or non-feminist. Also significant is our male versus female perspective. Half of the male respondents agreed or strongly agreed that gender equality has already been achieved, while all of the female respondents either disagreed or were neutral on the subject. These results may indicate that female students experience gender inequality more so than males do. Of course, limitations do exist in this current study. Convenient sampling was used, students were unmonitored during the online questionnaire, and the sample size was much too small to be truly representative of the population. The results suggest new directions and methods for future research. First, instead of using convenient sampling, researchers may choose to use systematic sampling to conduct their studies. For instance, researchers could ask every 7th student in randomly chosen class lists to complete surveys. Also, more research questions could be added to further understand the link between how undergraduate students view feminism in reference to society and how they personally connect with feminism. An interesting addition would be to ask students how they view feminism on a continuum from natural to radical. Also, research could be expanded to study how students view feminism in reference to interpersonal relationships on a continuum from helpful to harmful. Thank you for allowing me to present my research.